Hi, Peter Charles here, Folk to Fly Fishing, and today I'd like to tie a traditional Canadian pattern that has become popular all across North America and in the UK as well. It's called the Dark Montreal or just the Montreal, your choice, and it started off as a trout fly but has been used for Atlantic salmon in the UK and on this side of the pond for steelhead as well. It's an unusual pattern in the sense that it uses what was once called claret, which is an Old English name for red wine. So if you're buying materials for it today, just look for wine-colored materials, and that's claret, so you can use that. It's a very attractive looking fly, and it's interesting, a little bit of history to it. So let's get started and look at the materials. My hook is a size 4 low water salmon single. I'm going to be using an 8/0 black thread to avoid building up bulk. Our tail and our hackle is made up of wine-colored saddle hackle. Our rib is medium gold oval. We're using a wine floss for the body. You could also use wine colored yarn. I just don't happen to have any. And the tail is gray squirrel. So let's get started. Bring the thread back to the hook point. Select some wine saddle hackle for the tail. Now we tie in our rib. And now our wine-colored floss. When winding on your floss, be careful not to hit the hook point, like I just did there. Makes a mess of your floss. Just bring it up onto the return. Lock it in place. And now for our rib. And I got a few bits sticking up there. That happens with floss bodies if your fingers are a bit rough, and I should have taken care of mine. I'm getting a bit of fraying involved there. Okay, now we'll turn our rib. 5 turns is usually traditional. Now we'll want to fold that hackle back. And finally, we're going to use a hair stacker for our squirrel wing. If I was just to tie this on, it'll start to skid and it'll work its way down to the eye of the fly. So what I will do is I'll size it and I'll trim it. And then I'll just bring my thread in here and trap the hairs. Now, when it skids down, it'll form a nice head. And the hair is well trapped. Let's get rid of any strays. and we can whip finish. Now, if you want, you can come in with a water-based cement like this and put a drop in the base of the wing, and that'll hold the hairs in place. And then let that dry. Put your head cement on afterwards, and you're good to go. It'll create a durable fly that will stand up to a number of fish. Now, something else I did with this particular fly, I did sort of a quick and dirty floss body. The last fly I did, I spent a lot more time on the floss body. This is your choice whether you want to invest a lot of time in getting a really pretty floss body or you just want to knock off a fly to go fishing. I took that approach with this fly. So there you go. That was a quick and dirty floss body. You can see from some of my other videos how I do a much neater job. So anyway, there's the dark Montreal, a very traditional Quebec pattern. Good for trout, good for steelhead, good for Atlantic salmon. So get out there, have some fun with it. Cheers.